Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 16 of What If Naruto Was Sent to the Marvel World. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, go on ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a God Amongst Man that I posted over on Anime King 2 and enjoy that guys. And also, go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Orochimaru Was Naruto's father and enjoy that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support guys, and remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last spot we left off, Naruto and the Guardians of the Galaxy went inside of the airship. As the battle started, as Gamora took on her sister, as Naruto went straight for Ronin, as Naruto teleported to the planet with no life forms on it. The both of them start a battle. Ronin with the stone showed Naruto that he's powerful, as he brought down a swing that hit the earth. The entire place exploded. His Naruto's shirt was ripped apart as he had cuts all over his body. The both of them started to clash together as Ronin infused himself with the stone, as his eyes became purple and his skin became more muscular as he charged at Naruto. They smashed their fists together as Naruto punched him in the face, but nothing was happening. Naruto drive a Rasengan straight into his face as he was sent flying. But he picked up himself as he rushed at Naruto and started to beat down on Naruto. But Naruto then blew him away, as Naruto said that he had enough of this. As Naruto then started to deliver a barrage on Ronin, beating Ronin to the ground, as Naruto created a Rasen Shuriken with one of his truth-seeking orbs. As Ronin rushed forward with his staff, the truth-seeking orb and the staff smashed together, creating an explosion. When the explosion died down, Ronin's arm was gone and a huge chunk of his leg was torn out. Naruto simply raised his hand and used his magnetic release and took the staff away from him. Naruto could have done this any time in the battle, he just wanted to see what Ronin was capable of. As Naruto slammed the staff in Ronin's stomach and then drive it down his head, killing him. And he went back to the others as the Nova Corps commander thanked Naruto as they declared them the Guardians of the Galaxies. We then had a time skip as Thanos was getting pissed, as the God Slayer, he have failed to capture the boy they call the Celestial, and also Ronin has now failed, as he told Other to tell the God Slayer this is his last chance, and if he fail him once again, he will show him the might of a true god. We then skipped to Naruto as he was captured. He let himself get captured as he arrived to a place with the Exalted One, as this man had a huge bounty on his head and Naruto intended to get it. We then skip back to Earth as Ileana, she has been training under the Ancient One, as the Ancient One told her that a threat is coming, a very dangerous threat. Many things has happened on Earth as Nick Fury is pronounced dead and S.H.I.E.L.D. is no more. The Avengers came together and they're to stop protect the world from any dangerous threats, such like the one that happened in New York years ago. As the Ancient One told Ileana that she knows that she has a way to summon him. Speaking of Naruto, a huge ship then arrived as a man stepped out of it as he told them all to bring him the Celestial. So yeah guys, that was basically the last where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. What the hell is a Celestial? Walking through the Stark Tower, it was Clint and Steve Rogers as they went towards the Queen Jet, as Captain was strapping his shield on his back. No idea, Cap said. Do we have an idea if this guy is hostile? It was Maria Hill who answered. He has yet to make any kind of move. He just demands that we bring him the Celestial. The local police and the military has not yet engaged. They're waiting for our arrival. Is Tony on his way? Asked Steve. He called. As soon as the ship enters our orbit, he will be there before us. He's bringing Banner along with him. As they nodded as Steve and Clint entered the jet. As Clint nodded to the person who was driving. Ready? He said. Giving a cocky smile, Natasha replied. Are you? Always, Clint said. Meanwhile, bring him to me. I will not ask again. Bring me the Celestial now. As Tony looked over to Banner. Do you have any idea what he's talking about? He asked. No clue, said Bruce. Hey, you got a name, big guy? Tony asked. My name is Zack, he said. Well, Zack, we don't know what you're talking about. What's a Celestial? Exactly, Bruce asked. Not what, Zack said. Who? Okay, who are you talking about? Maybe we can help you find him. Do not play a fool with me. I know that the Celestial came from this planet. Before headed for Xandar, the Godslayer then pulled the axe that was strapped on his back, causing Bruce to step back as Tony aimed his repulsors. If you will not bring him to me, perhaps he will come on his own accords. Code Green? Bruce asks. Yes, Code Green. Sometime later, Illyana watched as the alien faced off against Iron Man and the Hulk, as the Hulk was being thrown around the city like a rag doll, as she was still in her apartment watching on the TV, as she then heard something stuck in her wall. As she turned, as she looked at her master. Did you have to throw it in my wall? This apartment is a rental, you know? The Ancient One didn't care about that. I thought you said that he would be here in a flash. Well, as Illyana didn't know what to say. Maybe there's another step to it, the Ancient One said. No, he just said to throw it and wait. Fine then, we wait, the Ancient One said. Looking towards the television. Well, looks like the rest of them are there, said Illyana. As Captain America, Hawkeye, and Black Widow arrive on the scene. I doubt they will be able to hold him off for long, said the Ancient One. Hold off who? Illyana jumped hearing that voice, as the Ancient One slowly opened her eyes with a smile on her face, as Naruto arrived in the room. The man had grown since the last time she see him. The way he held himself was more mature, confident, wearing a rather strange attire that looked worn and torn, and green liquid on him that smelled like blood. And in his hand was a head of a blue creature as blood dripped on the floor. From him, the Ancient One said as she looked towards the television. As Naruto saw the Zack send Steve Rogers flying, 4 arrows then hit him in the chest as it exploded. But the Zack walked right through it like it was nothing. Huh, Naruto said as he sealed away the head of Leiki. Does he got a name? He called himself the Zack, said Illyana. He's looking for someone who they call the Celestial. Think he's from Earth. Celestial, huh? Said Naruto. Do you know him? Asked Illyana. I'm gonna take care of this, Naruto said. After that we can catch up, he said. Does that mean you're coming back? Asked Illyana. Yeah, I think so. I've been gone long enough, don't you think? Yeah, for sure, she said. I'll see you in a bit then. Same for you, AC. And with that he vanished. Meanwhile, Zack jumped back as Hulk smashed right in front of him, as he wasn't given a moment to breathe as he felt an energy beam slam into his back. Multiple arrows stabbed right into him, and Cap slammed the shield right in his face as he was pushed back a bit, but he then grabbed the Hulk fist as the ground exploded underneath him. Is that all you have, beast? Asked the Godslayer, as yellow energy started to pour from his body. Perhaps when I kill you, the Celestial will show himself to me. As Zack struck Hulk in the face with his fist, as Hulk was sent flying as he smashed on top of a building and crashed down to the ground. Zack moved off with brilliant speed as he appeared in front of Hulk with his sword. Realizing what he was about to do, "Stop him," said Tony, as he fired off a beam from his chest as the Avengers fired off, trying to stop him from killing Hulk, as he was about to behead Hulk, as it pushed him off a bit as Zack drive his blade down as it pierced in Bruce's chest. "Bruce!" Tony yelled out. Zack brushed off their attacks as he pulled his blade out, ready to finish off Hulk. As Zack held his sword up, but he didn't stop. Everyone did as they felt that enormous presence spreading over the entire area. Naruto? Said Natasha, as she nearly fell over in shock. As Zack turned and looked at Naruto. Hey big guy, I heard you were looking for me, said Naruto. You took your time. I did not think that the man they call a Celestial was a coward. I apologize for taking so long, but wouldn't it have been much easier just to give me a call? It wasn't like I was hiding or anything, as he stepped forward. But no, you had to make an asshole out of yourself by attacking a plant that had zero idea where I was. It's a good thing I left a way for someone to call me, otherwise, you'd have probably destroyed this place. And that pissed me off, Naruto said, as he moved with incredible speed and grabbed onto Zack, as the both of them vanished, like they were never there. Zack appeared as he looked around. Where have you taken me, Celestial? As he was in an endless field. As Naruto placed a mask over his face to keep him from being blind by the sandstorm. This place has no people for miles or cities, Naruto said. As he pulled out his sword, Zack chuckled as he twirled his own sword around. You better pray to your gods if you have them, Celestial, because you will be meeting them soon enough. I don't have a god to pray to. All I have that are people who I consider precious to me, he said. And you just tried to kill some of the few that I had left. As Naruto moved in a blur, as both him and Zack blade clashed together, creating sparks all over the area. As the both of them glared in each other's eyes, as Naruto muscles strained, as Zack was rather big and tough, as he was pushing down all of his force and might on Naruto. As Zack pushed back Naruto, as he then kicked away Naruto's leg. Time for you to die, Celestial, as he sliced Naruto's head off. But Naruto poofed away. As Zack picked himself up, I heard that you are full of tricks, Celestial, he said. Most of my people were as well, Naruto said. As Zack pulled out a shield that was strapped to his lower back. They must have been a bunch of cowards then, he said. Zack quickly had to bring up his shield, as a spear of lightning nearly struck right into his face, as it pushed him back with great force. As he blinked, Naruto was upon him as Naruto brought his sword down. As Zack stood his ground, the ground exploded underneath him as Naruto brought down his sword with so much force. You don't know a damn thing about them, Naruto said, as he started to let out his wrath. As Naruto started to release a barrage of slice. Calm down, brat. This isn't someone you should lose your cool over, said Kurama. If you weren't so pissed, you would have noticed that his shield is absorbing the chakra around your blade every time you hit it. He can absorb energy, you damn brat. That is why his shield isn't shattering from your blade. Naruto jumped back. That's some nifty weapon you got there. It is even able to absorb chakra. So you finally noticed, said Zack. I was wondering how long it will take you to notice. Naruto jumped back as he attached his sword to his back with magnet release. As he speed through hand sign, lightning release, false darkness. As Naruto released an energy pulse of lightning that hit Zack's shield, as the entire place exploded, as Naruto had to cover his eyes. As the sand settled and dust cleared, Naruto looked around as Zack was no longer there. He wasn't given enough time as a massive fist slammed into his jaw as Naruto was pushed back. Then another fist came to the other side of his face, then one into his stomach as Naruto coughed up blood. As Zack looked at Naruto with a disappointed look on his face. Time for your end, he said as he brought down his sword, as Naruto could only watch as the sword come down on him. Meanwhile, where the hell did he go, Clint said, as Tony sighed as he heard Clint from the Queen Jet. If I knew, I would tell you. Naruto just disappeared with a guy who was throwing banner around like he was nothing. We need to find him and help him. We're trying, Clint, Steve said. We got Hill back at the Stark Tower searching for any sign of them. We will get a hit eventually. You just have to be patient, he said as he placed a hand on man's shoulder. As Clint looked at Natasha, aren't you going to say anything? The man is back after 3 years, and you have to say that thing. Don't you look? Shut up, she said, as she blinked and calmed herself. We got to get Bruce back to Stark Tower. Thanks to the other guy, the bleed didn't stop. But you still need to see Dr. Cho as soon as possible. Naruto can handle himself, He's stronger than you think. Stark nodded as he looked over to Bruce, as bandage was wrapped around his chest. The color seemed to be returning back to his face. She's right, we will find Naruto, Clint, but we have to get Bruce back to the tower first. Meanwhile, with the Zack and Naruto, Sage Path 6 mode activated on Naruto as a hand came out and blocked the Zack strike. As Naruto jumped back, "Thanks a lot, Kurama," he said. "Don't worry, kid. Now get your ass back in the game." "This guy is different from the others." "Yeah, I know," said Naruto. "It's like fighting a Kage back home." "He has some kind of engine spike, didn't you feel it, kid?" said Kurama. "Well, not really. I was having my ass kicked. It's been a while since that happened." "Well, it's embarrassing," said Kurama. "So get your head in the game before you embarrass the both of us." "This Zack, you're pretty good. The best I've seen so far outside my planet for sure," he said. "And you are nothing but a disappointment. You are no celestial. No god. If it were any other circumstances, I wouldn't even bother with you. It is only because of who you angered that I have seeked your death today," Zack said. Zack didn't even give Naruto the time to ask who he was talking about, as he launched forward at Naruto, as Naruto blocked his swipe with his own sword. As Zack tilted back, as Naruto then launched forward, Zack was surprised at the strength in Naruto's swing, as the both of them then began a dance of their blades. The both of them then jumped away from each other, as they were glaring at each other. As Naruto extended his hand out, magnet release, faithful attraction, Zack looked down at his sword and his shield, as they were being pulled away from him. But he held on strong, as he held on to his weapon with a vice-like grip. Suddenly, a yellow glow started to surround him. Realized he was getting nowhere with his faithful attraction, Naruto cut off a jutsu, just in time, to cover his eyes as Zack gave a mighty battle cry, the sand splitting open, as he roared up to the heavens, as the yellow presence around him became even thicker. "Holy crap," Naruto yelled, as he sent Chakra to his feet to keep himself from being blown away. "The guy is going Super Saiyan." "No, you fool," Kurama said. "He's using a power source. I told you that there was a spike of power. This guy is rivaling a tail beast energy. 5 tail at the least," Kurama said. "Big guns it is then," Naruto said, as he was about to activate his Sage Path 6 cloak. But he couldn't get to as Zack burst off towards him with incredible speed, as the ground beneath him exploded when he moved off. Zack smashed into Naruto, bringing him in mid-air, as the both of them smashed through a rock formation and smashed through another and another. As Naruto screamed at the impact, the two of them drilling into the hard rock with great force and speed. As Zack took advantage of that, as he brought his fist down on Naruto's face over and over and over again. Having enough with the punching, he grabbed Naruto by his hair roughly. Blood pouring down his face, his nose, and his mouth. "Is that all you got?" Naruto said. Zack then started beat Naruto's head down into the rock formation, breaking down the giant rock formation with Naruto's skull, as he did it over and over and over and over again. So pathetic. Well, I shouldn't be shocked you couldn't stand up to the power of your designate. Only one man has, and he's the man that wants you dead. Consider it a blessing that he sent me rather than coming himself. Though it doesn't matter really, because you will be meeting him soon enough. So allow me once again to give you this final speech. Pray to your gods if you have them, because you will be visiting them. But he couldn't get to finish a sentence. Rasengan! As Zack was sent flying away from Naruto, as he smashed into a rock formation, as he clutched his shoulder in pain as he glared at Naruto. Naruto simply gave him a bloody smile as he got from the ground. "I don't give a damn who I pissed off. I don't give a damn who you are. I honestly don't care what your story is. All that I care about is that you try to kill people I care about. For all I care, you became a dead man the moment you stepped foot on this planet." As the ground beneath Naruto started to crack, as his 6-path Sage mode started to activate, as his power started to dance wildly around him, so did Zack, as the strange yellow energy started to flicker around him hard. "Well then, let's go," Naruto said, as the both of them moved off, creating booms, as the sand and the dirt lift up in the air. But that was nothing compared to where their fists met in a mighty clash in the center, as a huge ripple went out, as Naruto slammed his fist into the Zack's chin, knocking his head upwards. Naruto then jumped upwards and brought his foot down on the Zack's head, as the Zack's head smashed down into the ground. As the Zack grabbed Naruto's feet and smashed Naruto in the ground, as Naruto extended two hands from his cloak and grabbed the Zack by the shoulder and pounding his face, blow after blow, the two went in with everything that they got. While the Zack was bleeding, he did not show the physique or the tiredness that he was feeling at all. He seemed to be perfectly fine. His face was showing hurt, but he did not seem to be slowing down or getting weaker. As Naruto jumped back and went through hand sign, fire release, great fire annihilation. As the Zack brought out his shield, but Naruto wasn't finished. Wind release, great wind breakthrough. As the wind and the flames combine, releasing a massive burst. Not done yet, Naruto thought. Help me out here, Kurama. Sure thing, brat, said Kurama. As Naruto held his hands up, big ball, tail beast Rasen Shuriken. As he extended two chakra arms from his back, as Naruto and Kurama form a massive tail beast ball Shuriken. As Naruto hurled the massive power, as the Zack was still in the middle of it all. As the Zack jumped forward as he swung his sword with all of his might, as it exploded. Boom. Meanwhile, found anything yet? Agent Hill looked up from her tablet. Not yet, Captain. How's Banner? She asked. He's fine, Tony said as he walked into the room. We just got a hit. There in the Sahara, Tajin. How the hell did he get all the way over there? Said Clint as he was in the corner. As he was tweaking with one of his arrows. Do you think he somehow used a Tesseract? Probably, Tony said. Where is Point Break when you need him? Miss Foster said that he left for Nidevera 2 days ago. Whatever that is, Hill said, not taking her eyes off her tablet. Note to self, get Thora phone, said Clint. As he looked over at Natasha as she was sitting at the bar with a blank expression on her face. As Steve walked up to Clint, how is she? She shut herself off. There's no getting through to her when she's like this. So what do we do here, Tony? That guy was tearing us apart before Naruto showed up. We're going to need a game plan if we're going to go into this. He won't need it, said Natasha, as Group looked over at her. I told you, he's stronger than you think. You will win. Meanwhile, Naruto got off the ground. So did the Zack. Damn it, we got to destroy that sword and that shield, Naruto said. I agree, said Kurama. A shield that absorbs energy and a sword that negates it. That's goddamn ridiculous. The question is how. Jutsus are all out, and chakra enhanced strength is useless. So is nature chakra and six-path chakra. My entire arsenal is gone. There is that, said Kurama. No, that's NG2, said Naruto. True, said Kurama. A light bulb then went off in Naruto's head, as he pulled up his shirt sleeve as he revealed several seal tattoos on his arms. As Naruto released one of his seals, as there was a huge poof. The wind blew it away, as Naruto's new weapon was revealed. The Zack raised the eyebrow. What a strange weapon, he said, as Naruto had a smile on his face. Say hello to the helmet splitter, Naruto said, as it was a single-sided axe that was connected to a massive hammer. Fine, the Zack said, as he picked up himself completely, as he dashed towards Naruto with his shield and his sword. But two shadow clones poofed in existence, both of them wielding a kunai instead of the weapon that Naruto had. Quickly dispatching the first, the Zack went into a fury of strikes with the second, until the clone smirked. Boom, the clone said, as it exploded, pushing back the Zack a bit, but it didn't seem to phase him, as he looked around for the real Celestial. Left, right, and even behind, he looked for his opponent. Catching something, he looked up to see Naruto coming down with the axe, trying to cut his head in half. As he quickly raised his shield, as the axe smashed into the shield. As Naruto didn't seem to mind the block, if anything his smirk got bigger. Carry blade technique, defense breaker, Naruto said, as he slammed the hammer half on the Zack shield. The sound of splitting metal and tearing flesh was heard later. Green blood sprayed across Naruto's face as he sliced off the Zack arm. The Zack planted his foot into Naruto's stomach, sending Naruto flying back. Clutching his stump, he watched as his precious blood spilled on the sand below. Looking what was left of his shield, he growled as it was cut in half. As he slid it off his arm and threw it away. You have no idea How lucky you are that the other ordered me to bring you in alive. Naruto charged forward, one down, one to go, he thought to himself. Be careful, brat, he's different from before, said Kurama. As Naruto swing his axe towards the Zack kneecap, the Zack jumped back as he swung his sword towards Naruto's neck, as Naruto blocked it with his own sword. This went on for some while as Naruto tried to use defense breaker to break the Zack's sword as the Zack was parrying the attacks. As Naruto got a perfect opening as he brought his axe down on the Zack's forehead, but the Zack let out a primal scream as Naruto was sent blowing away by her energy. Naruto, get up, said Kurama as Naruto was on his back, but he was too late as the Zack drove his sword right into Naruto's gut, pinning him on the ground. Looking down, Naruto could only watch in shock as blood escaped from his wound, as the energy of the sword was burning his flesh. As Naruto reached up, Shidori's spear, he said. But nothing happened, not even a spark. What? Naruto said. This blade is enchanted to negate any energy it comes in contact with. It was a gift from the very being that gave me my amulet, Zack said. While the shield absorbed any kind of energy and converted into godly energy, the sword destroyed that energy entirely. A good thing to have against beings who rely on their energy for combat, Zack said. Look, even that farm you took is gone. As Naruto saw the six-path chakra motor disappear, Kurama, he said. Kurama! He frantically screamed in his mind, and for the first time in a long while, there was no answer. If you're trying to channel that power, do not bother. As long as this blade is in contact with you, you are powerless. And for the first time in a long while, Naruto felt fear. As his mind was racing, he had no chakra, he was bleeding out, and his strength was leaving him even quicker. Before long, he was going to pass out from either the pain or blood loss. He needed to think. As Naruto's vision started to get blurry. Am I going to die? He said. As he then saw a Quinjet fly over as his eyes slowly started to close. In the Quinjet, oh my god, said Tony. As they were looking down to see Naruto, a sword was in his gut, the Zack standing over him. Get down there, said Natasha. We have to save him. Clint didn't bother to answer as he already started to plunge the Quinjet down. As Steve clipped his helmet on, Stark, Hawkeye, word distraction, Natasha, your extraction, get him out of there. As Natasha nodded, as Rogers looked over to Tony, any chance that Veronica is ready for action? No, Bruce and I was in the middle of it when this guy showed up. It's not battle ready yet. The Quinjet started to shake violently. What the hell is going on? Said Steve. I don't know, Clint said. Something is going on with Naruto. As they looked down to see a strange purple energy surrounding Naruto, as the energy tear up into the sky, blowing away all the clouds, as hurricanes, tornadoes were surrounding Naruto. We got to back off, Tony said. We can't, said Nat. If we don't, we're gonna die. As Clint struggled with himself, but he then cursed as he pulled the Quinjet back. Meanwhile, darkness, that was all Naruto could see when he opened his eyes. Nothing but darkness. As he felt alone, there was no noise, no smell, nothing. Just him floating in utter darkness, a void. He then heard dripping. Hello, where am I? As the drip continued. Kurama? Is anyone there? What is this, hell? No, said a voice. As Naruto turned to see the most beautiful woman he has ever seen, as she was wearing a gown that looked like the universe itself, with twinkling stars all around it, and galaxies. As Naruto looked into her brown eyes, as she looked like she was looking into his soul. Who are you? He asked. Taking a step in mid-air, the woman looked at him. Who do you think I am? Some kind of god, I have to guess, Naruto said, as he realized a powerful presence she gave off. Some have given me that title, but I am much more, she said. Hades, Yama, Asuna, Hala, a lot have given me different names. I touch everyone, everywhere. As she raised her hand and stopped before she reached his cheek. I am death. As Naruto could feel a chill run down his spine. The Shinigami, he said. That is one of my avatars, she said. As Naruto jumped when she placed her hand on his stomach right on the seal. I can feel our connection. Connection, Naruto said. Remnants of my energy. Help hold the beast at bay. Death explained. I have been with you from the beginning. You're such a stubborn boy, so set on avoiding me. And yet here, I can touch you now, she said as she placed her hand on his cheek. Am I dying, Naruto asked. You are, she said. But I can't. Not yet, Naruto said. Why? Your friends are all dead, your family, your home is destroyed. How long do you think this mask that you put on will last? As she pressed up against him, this mask you put on is pathetic. It's all a fiction. Annoyance started to fill Naruto's mind, but for some reason, he couldn't move away from the beautiful woman. You don't know what you're taught. She cut him off. You don't know if you want to move forward or backward. Just that you cannot stand still. You are a man filled with so much that not even I can comprehend. Pain, sorrow, you bury your thoughts deep inside. But here, you cannot hide anything, your mask is gone here. As she reached her hand up and wiped something from his eye. As he realized he was crying. And finally the dam broke as she pulled him in for a hug. As Naruto broke down, I failed them. I failed them. Yes you did, she said. I miss them so much it hurts, Naruto said. I know, she said. As she hugged him even tighter. I just want to see them again, he said. As they were silent for several moments. As Naruto's tears started to dry up, leaving streaks on his shoulder. Is that really what you want, Death asked. Yes, Naruto said without hesitation. Then all you have to do is give in to me, my beloved. As Naruto moved back a bit. What? All you have to do is give in to me. And then you will see your precious people again. In that moment, Naruto felt ashamed of himself. Ashamed that he was actually thinking over the offer that was given to him. Ashamed that he was so close to give up. So close to breaking his ninja way. No, I want to. You have no idea how much I want to. But I can't. Not yet. Death smiled as she looked up at him. Such a stubborn boy, she said. As she kissed him. She then breathed the kiss. Allow me to give you some assistance then. And all Naruto could see after that was a sharp, never-ending light. Naruto snapped open his eyes in the real world. The sword that was in his stomach, it exploded. Naruto, can you hear me? Kurama said. Yeah, Kurama, I can hear you. You can stop screaming now. As Naruto got up. That hurt, Naruto said, as he felt his stomach. I'm healing it as fast as I can, but it's gonna scar, said Kurama. Of course it will, Naruto said as he stood up. What the hell happened to you? You were comatose for like 3 minutes and then you start to release that strange energy. It felt like death, Kurama said. I don't know, Naruto said. You know I can tell when you're lying, right? I will drop it for now, but I will expect an explanation. You got that? I think it's time we use it, Kurama, Naruto said. It's about goddamn time, Kurama said. I'm gonna need a minute though. Do you have any idea where Zack is? Yeah, he's taking on the Avengers, a half-mile away. Damn it, Naruto said. Hawkeye, aim for the eyes. Tony, go for the back. I'll go for the knees, said Cap, as he thrust his mighty shield with all of his force into the beast's kneecap. As Clint released several arrows, as Tony released rockets from its armor. But the energy around Zack protected him from all of them, as he scoffed. That energy is protecting him. We need something to pierce through it, said Natasha. I got just the thing. Natasha jumped as she turned to see Naruto. Naruto, she said, as Naruto had taken off his jacket and his vest. Natasha, he said. I thought you were, as she stuttered. I know, but I'm fine now, Naruto said. You guys gotta get out of here. This is going to get ugly. Uglier than it already is? Said Natasha. Sadly, yes, Naruto said. I've got some clones prepping my next move, but it's about done. You guys need to leave now. Alright, just don't die again, she said, as she pressed into her earpiece. Steve, did you hear that? Every word. Are you sure about this, Widow? He asked. Yeah, if you said that we should go, we need to go. Got it. Clint, Tony, we're making a tactical retreat. Head for the Queen Jet. Meanwhile, Zack looked at Naruto. Welcome back, Maelstrom, as he was holding his sword in his one hand. And his stump was resting there. What? No more calling me a Celestial, Naruto asked. as he looked around to make sure that Natasha and the others were retreating. "No, you have proven to me that you aren't one. There's no point in giving you such a title," said Zack. "Yeah, you've been picking me apart in this whole fight, to your weapons and negate abilities, and your overwhelming power. You're the most powerful person I've fought in a long time. But it doesn't matter now," Naruto said, as he watched as a Quinjet went off. "This power is all the power I've absorbed for centuries. I have been around for a long time, mortal boy. I have been absorbing power from Asgardians, different planet beings that you wouldn't even comprehend. And you really think you can beat me? You pathetic human race being? Yeah, I've noticed that. If I'm being honest with myself, the power that you have is very impressive," Naruto said. "So I guess I'll have to try something new," Naruto said, as he got the memories from the clone. As he felt the energy that the clone had gathered enter his body. As Naruto breathed through his nose as he felt the power swirling inside of him. Slowly he opened his eyes, revealing that he had turned into a dark purple, with a golden view around it, and a matching dot in the center of his forehead. As Naruto raised his hands as he flexed his entire body. "I call this Cosmic Sage Mode." "How?" Zack said. "How are you able to use that power? Are the rumors of you being a herald true?" Naruto simply walked forward. "It doesn't matter," Zack said, as he engulfed his body in more energy. He dashed forward as he raised his axe. He brought it down. Cling. Zack was beyond shock as Naruto held his axe, as Zack couldn't believe it with one hand. As Naruto barely twitched his hand, as the axe snapped in half. As Naruto held on to a piece of it, just as I thought, Naruto said as he added wind chakra to the piece. He then thrust it forward as it tear right through Zack's shoulder. "I took you on assuming that I had the advantage with my different abilities. But your axe negates all abilities," Naruto said, "and that almost got me killed. Even without my weapons, I can still kill you," Zack said. "I have only tapped into half of my power." "Of course," Naruto said, as he burst forward. Each punch and kicks sent a boom through the desert, as Zack landed 3 solid hits on Naruto. But Naruto barely felt a thing. "This is awesome," Naruto thought. "This form will only last for 10 more minutes, brat. Don't waste it," said Kurama. "Right," Naruto said. "Shidori," he said, as purple lightning surrounded his hand. As Naruto moved off with incredible speed and tear his hand right through Zack's shoulder, where Zack was already wounded. But Zack then grabbed Naruto, holding him in place, as Zack started raining down punches on Naruto with his one hand. But Naruto was slapping them away with his other hand, as Naruto brought up a barrage of punches for his own, each more deadly than the last. As Naruto started to gather cosmic energy in his hand, as his hand was engulfed in a purple and yellow energy, as he smashed it right into Zack's face, as Zack was sent flying through the air. As Naruto gathered energy in both fists, as he fired off a beam towards the flying Annihilator. Zack seeing them coming, he fired off his own energy beam, as they exploded, pushing him back. But before Zack could do anything, Naruto appeared in front of him. Cosmic Release, Rasen Shuriken, as the Naruto clone slammed the attack into Zack's chest because it was so devastating. The clone poofed away as the explosion went on, tearing through the ground, blowing away everything around it. As Naruto felt, the real Naruto felt the cosmic mode leave him. The other clone poofed away a distance as Naruto felt the energy return back to his body. "No, Naruto," said Kurama, "this form takes a lot out of you than we thought. Your body still needs more training to adapt to it. You can only enter it 2 times for now. If you enter a 3rd time, there is no telling what it will do." "Well, crap," Naruto thought. "I guess I'll have to end it here." As Naruto saw yellow energy exploded out in the distance, as the yellow energy teared straight up into the sky. As Naruto jumped away as Zack smashed into the ground where he once was. As Naruto saw the gem around Zack's neck, as it was glowing fiercely, as Zack was going all out. As Naruto slammed his hand on the ground, Sage Art, Earth Release, Stamping Rampage, as the earth lifted up into the air. As they turned their spears and dashed towards Zack, as Zack raised his hand and released a pure radiating an amount of energy that teared through the rock formations, destroying them before they could reach him. As Zack tried to move but he was stuck, as he turned to see Naruto, as Naruto had his mind focused, his entire body just still there, as sand was wrapped around Zack's leg. "This won't hold me, boy." "I know," Naruto said, as several clones poofed into the air, as all of them started to put their hands together, creating Naruto's attack. But guys, we'll be ending this episode right here. If you want the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notifications to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. But for now guys, I'm out of here. Peace.